Hey, Brianna, it's fantastic to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. I hear you've broken away from rehearsals for this chat.
Yes, yeah. Well, we've just finished rehearsal, so yeah. But it's great. No, it's lovely to chat to you and catch up.
I'm a massive fan. So before we start talking about the beautiful South, tell me a little bit about this tour then, because I know that you're over in Newcastle, you're up in Scotland a week on Friday. Tell me a little bit about it.
So we are starting in London on Thursday night, and then we're doing a mad rush all the way up to Newcastle. So a little planning not so good, but it was kind of a question of really wanting to fit things in. So, and then we go to Salford, and then from that we go to Warrington, and then we're off to Scotland, up to Irvine, and to the Mac Arts in Galashiels, and then we're heading to Barnoldswick, which I don't think that's how you say it. I think you say it something else, but that's how it's spelled. So we're going to be there, and then we're going to Hepton Bridge to Trades Club where we played last year, and it was just gorgeous. And then we're off to the Philharmonic, Liverpool Philharmonic, the music room, which again we played last year, and that was really lovely. And then we're going down near Birmingham to Stourbridge. So it's our first time kind of there. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, so really looking forward to kind of kicking off. And we're doing some new songs. I'm going to be recording a record in the summer, so we're going to be trying out some of those songs. So that's always fun, you know.
And can the fans expect a little bit of the beautiful South as well?
Definitely, yeah. So some beautiful South classics, of course, featuring me. So some of the songs that I sang with Beautiful South, and so definitely Beautiful South classics, and then also some stuff from my solo work, and a couple of new songs that are going to be putting on this new album, and then we some kind of quirky cover versions that we do as well, which is quite fun. And then also we do a couple of Irish folk songs.
Ah.
Yeah, because I mean, sort of where I came from when I was, I grew up with all of that, and so it's kind of really nice to kind of pull that into a contemporary context. And I made a folk album just before COVID. So recorded in Cork and Dublin, and we haven't actually released it yet, but it will come out I don't know when the time is right. It's one of those ones really. COVID kind of knocked it out the touch. So, but we'll get back to it. But anyway, that's a really lovely thing is to be able to kind of play those folk songs. So lineup wise, there's guitar and a cello. So well, a couple of guitars and a cello. So we're taking beautiful size songs and we're kind of like stripping them back and having different approaches, and it's a lot of fun. I mean,
Beautiful.
people seem to really like our versions of them, because they're still completely true to the original, just some different sort of takes on it. But yeah, so yeah, just can't wait to get back out there. It's been such a lovely
Fantastic.
experience. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because this has been you've had a 10-year hiatus, haven't you? You've had a little break for a little while. What have you been doing
Yeah.
during this time?
Well, I have kids, so I kind of stepped away really, just to sort of focus on them,
How old are your
and
children?
they've gone now. They're uni now. Well, one of them's actually in the middle of the jungle in Thailand. He's
Oh,
yeah, I know. So he was involved in the earthquakes and stuff, but thank
oh my
God, not
gosh.
badly. Yeah, because it's jungle, so there wasn't much to fall on him. But anyway, he yeah. So my daughter is at she's at uni, so that's kind of giving me time to get out and do stuff again. But yeah, so really it was and I know like, and this isn't, I don't think this is the way it has to be. It's just for me. When I had kids, I just felt like it was impossible for me to kind of do both things. And so I did lots of fun stuff, did a lot of writing, did a master's in poetry,
Wow.
wrote for theatre and did some acting, like trained in acting. I don't know what you said, trained in acting. I just, went and studied acting. And so
You're
I
hardly
went back.
putting your feet up then, were you?
Oh, but
Juggling
it was
being a mum and all these other jobs as
yeah.
well.
Well, I think it's one of those things, it takes a huge amount of focus to do this, what I'm doing at the minute. And I certainly don't think I I would not have had the capacity to focus in this way when you're trying to make sure your kids, whether they're little or whether they're doing their GCSEs, or you stuff like they need you in a weird way even more. So and hell, I do not regret any bit of it. I think it's probably one of the best decisions ever made to just go, you know what, I'm gonna put them at the center of everything, and sure, and now it's great to be back out, and I'm a bit older, and I'm just,
Good for you. I was going to say, does that give you more enthusiasm and more energy now to sort of to come back with more passion?
well, I think, something about it is I have a lot more clarity about why I'm doing it. I also, when I went out on that for like autumn 23, we went out for our first kind of little tour. And I really went in going, okay, if I don't like this, I don't ever have to do it again. Because I just didn't know how I was going to feel. And wonderfully, I just loved it. And it was so great to get up and sing again, and to sing to people. And also I just had a whole host of love, just felt like so much love. And that was really great as well. So yeah, so actually, I think it's probably the most I've ever enjoyed touring and
Oh,
making music. So that's kind of really nice. And
that's
I think also,
fantastic.
you've got your priorities sorted at this
Yeah.
stage, and you know why you're doing it. And
Can you make all the choices when you've got a solo tour? Is it completely different to when you were touring with the Beautiful South?
yeah, yeah. I mean, but the industry is so different. It's everything is so different. Apart from that interaction between the audience and being on stage performer, and that, I mean, I think that's one of the things. It is just a kind of really beautiful when it goes well. It's a really
Yeah.
kind of beautiful experience, and I think yeah, I think that it's a special thing to be part of.
Before I mention back in the 80s, just tell me, what do your kids think of you now? Do they think you're like uber cool for, like, being
No,
back
I
in the
don't think
music?
so. They're no, I mean, they're both big into music themselves. So my son did our merch on the last tour, which is
Oh
really
wow.
good crack.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah, so he came in and did that because he'd finished, and he was like, he'd free time. So he came and did that. But that was really nice. So you kind of get these really weird, quirky little things where, yeah, I don't know, it was such a good laugh having him at that do that.
Oh,
He was really good at it. And and I think my daughter's going to be coming on for some of this tour, because she's yeah, 'cause, yeah, our the merch guy who has been working with us, he's away off now. He's not going to be around. So I think my daughter's going to step in, and that's quite a lot of fun actually, bringing them in, and just and I think they just find it really kind of funny. I think it's
back in the 80s, then, so many big hits with Beautiful South, and The Little Time, absolutely love it. How is that for you?
Well, it was super exciting. Like, it was a really exciting time. I mean, it kind of came completely out of the blue, and
You got a
and
Brit
then
Award?
yeah, yeah, we got a Brit Award, which is kind of good for that video that
It's pretty good.
yeah, that's good. So no, there were so many great times there, and I think the definitely the kind of the fame stuff, and that can be really difficult. Also, it's a difficult industry, and I was mainly, you're mainly surrounded with men all the time, and I think it would be exactly the same the other way around if it had been
Yeah.
one man, and like 19 woman on a tour bus. I think Belinda Carlisle. I think that was. I think it can be isolating, and it can be. I don't think people mean that to be, but it's just kind of the way it is. We operate differently, I suppose. But
Yeah.
but then Paul actually hired a woman sound engineer, which was great.
Oh,
So for one of the tours, and then she stayed on, and then we're still like super, really, really close mates.
oh,
She's
that's
she's
lovely.
one of my best mates. So that was great. So we had our own little gang in the big gang. So we were like a gang of two women. Uh, Talked about womanly things, but no, it was just great. It was good. It was kind of good having that kind of sense of sisterhood in the middle of it all. That was a bit of a game changer for me, to be honest.
Did you choose to leave the Beautiful South? What happened at the end there?
Yeah. Yeah, I did choose to leave them, and I think it was a bit of a perfect storm, really. We I had always written my own stuff, and I knew like there wasn't there wasn't going to be an opportunity to write in Beautiful South. Paul and Dave, they were brilliant. It was brilliant. There's nobody questioning that or doubting that, but there was always a little part of me that was a bit, oh, I'd quite like to do my own stuff as well, and I think there was that push. There was also yeah, there was also with one of the songs, there was a bit of with 36 Day, it was a bit problematic for me. And we had the conversation and everything, but then, the band decided to release it as a single, and that was kind of pretty uncomfortable for me, really. And so it was one of those things where there was not really one thing that made me go, all right, but it was just, yeah, perfect storm, time to leave. And that's what it was.
Are you able, you're probably not warmed up or anything, but could you just sing us just a tiny little bit of a little time?
Funny how quick the milk turns sour.
Oh my God, I love that song. It's so cool. It's so cool. Now, tell me, who were you a big fan of in the 80s?
Massive fan of Maria McKee and Lone Justice. They were probably later, weren't they? Mary Margaret O'Hara, amazing. Oh God, I don't know, just so many people. Sort of early 80s, I suppose, kind of like our mid 80s or whatever that was. Probably, big fan of Bananarama, big fan of I don't know, just so many people. Dexys, oh my God, I love Dexys. But I loved their second, Don't Stand Me Down, that album
Yeah.
where they suddenly all wore suits and things. Oh, that was an amazing album. The massive fan of Style Council.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, really big fan of Style Council. I wasn't cool enough to be a fan of the Jam, though I know that they are really good. But Style Council was not my other thing. So yeah, give me a name. I mean, and when you look at that time and the music that was coming out from the 80s and early 90s, it was really exciting time. Things were really changing and really shifting, and coming off the back of punk and then into new wave and
Does it seem
and
like a
then
lifetime ago now when you talk about it?
do you know what? Weirdly, it doesn't. I don't know. I think because you have that thread of your own life, it just absolutely shocks me that my son is the same age as I was when I went to Beautiful Life. It's like, what? But that's only then. And, yeah, so I think that's also really interesting, that whole thing about time and how you move through it. And yeah, so it doesn't feel, it feels a really long time away in ways, but it also, yeah, I still feel really aware of it. But maybe also because I've been focusing on the songs and,
Yeah.
you know, getting them to performance level for me now. So maybe, there's it, yeah, it probably feels a little closer probably than it did.
So, Brianna, for anybody who is seeing this and thinking, oh, I might be interested in coming to see this tour, sell it to us. Why should they come and see you?
Well, I think that we'll be doing we're going to be doing Beautiful House songs. We're going to be doing some of my own solo stuff. We're going to be doing new songs. But the biggest kind of sense of this concert, of the feedback that I've got on this, and we've got, myself and Colma Mary, who works with me, is that it's like a joyous kind of punch of connection. And it's an emotional show. It's a funny show. Well, I don't know. Hopefully, it's funny. Funny isn't the central thing of it, but you know what I mean. It's a chatty show. There's quite a lot of crack to be had at it, and there's a certain amount of audience participation, which is so yeah. You know what? I don't know if you like live music. I think you like my voice and you like the beautiful sight, then there's a strong possibility you might like the show. Is that selling it? I don't know. That's selling it. I'm not very good at that.